Children, now in our science class, today's topic is upper limbs. The upper arm has a single bone called humerus joined to the pectoral girdle. At the elbow, humerus joins two bones, radius and ulna of lower arm. Wrist is made up of small bones called carpals. The hand joins the wrist and is made up of many small bones. Upper arm has a single bone and that bone is called humerus, and this bone is joined to the pectoral girdle here. Okay, at the elbow, humerus joins two bones, radius and ulna. Wrist is made up of small bones and these bones are called carpals. Now lower limbs, thigh bone or femur is the longest bone of our body and is joined to the pelvic girdle on one end and the knee on the other end. At the knee, it is joined with two bones, tibia and fibula. The knee contains a disc-shaped kneecap or patella. The ankle joins the leg to the bones of the foot. Now, pelvic girdle joins the long bone which is called femur. Okay, and this femur, it is at one end it is joined to the pelvic girdle and at the other end it is joined to the knee. Okay. Then knee is joined with two bones called tibia and fibula. This knee contains a disc-like shaped structure which is called kneecap or patella. Now the ankle, it joins the legs to the bones of the foot. The ankle is joined to the bones of the foot. Okay. Now movement and muscles. We have learnt about bones and joints. What makes the bones move? Just like the skeletal system, our body has another system called the muscular system, which consists of muscles which are joined to the bones by tendons. The muscles cover the entire skeleton and cause movement at joints by contracting and expanding. Muscles work in pairs for the movement of a bone. When one of the muscles contracts, the bone is pulled in its direction and the other muscle relaxes. Next, the relaxed muscle contracts and pulls the bone back to its original position, while the first muscle relaxes. What makes the bone move? Just like the skeletal system, bones are joined to another system called muscular system. These muscles are joined to the bones by tendons. Okay. This muscle cover the entire skeletal system and cause movement by joints by contracting and expanding. How it works? These muscles works in pair for the movement of a bone. When one of the muscle contracts, the bone is pulled in its direction and the other muscle relaxes at that time. Okay. Now, when the relaxed muscle contracts and pulls the bone back to its original position, okay, then the first bone relaxes. Okay. In the same way, movement occurs in animals. Some of our body movements are controlled by our will. They are called voluntary movements. For example, walking, running, etc. Movements of some muscles cannot be controlled by our will. These are called involuntary movement. And the muscles controlling them are called involuntary muscles. For example, movement of eyelids, heartbeat, etc. The movements which are controlled by our will are called voluntary movement and the muscles are called voluntary muscles, and the movements which are not controlled by our will are called involuntary movement and the muscles are called involuntary muscles. Okay. Voluntary movements are examples of writing, walking, etc. Involuntary movement, example of movement of eyelids, heartbeat, etc. are the involuntary movement. Okay. Now activity 6, children, you have to do at home. Now coming to next topic, movement in animals. All animals do not have bones. Animals can be grouped into two categories on the basis of presence of backbone. Okay. Now they are divided into two categories, invertebrate and vertebrates. Animals in which a backbone is not present is called invertebrate. For example, earthworm, cockroach, etc. Now the animals which have backbone are called vertebrate. For example, cat, dog, man, fish, etc. The presence or absence of a backbone affects the way an animal moves. The manner of movement is also called gait of animals. The manner of the movement of animal is also called the gait of animals. Okay. Presence or absence of the backbone also affects the way how the animal moves. Okay. You will learn about it further in this chapter. Now first is locomotion in earthworm. To understand the movement of earthworm, let us first know about its body. The body of an earthworm is made up of many rings joined together called segments. The earthworm does not have any bones, but its body secretes a slimy substance which keeps its body moist, protects it, or also helps in its movement. Its body has a large number of tiny hair like bristles called setae under it, which helps in gripping the ground and pushing its body ahead. Setae are joined to the muscles. Earthworm don't have bones. First we will learn about its body. The body of its earthworm is made up of many rings, and these rings are joined together, and these rings are called segment. It does not have bone, but its body secretes a slimy substance which keep its body moist, protect it, and that slimy substance also helps in its movement. Its body has a large number of tiny hair like bristles, which are called setae, under it. This helps in gripping the ground and pushing its body ahead. This hairs helps in gripping the ground and pushing its body ahead. Setae are joined to the muscles. With the help of these bristles, earthworm moves on ground. While moving, an earthworm extends muscles of its segment which move ahead and grip the ground. Then the segments following it contract and puts the rest of the body ahead. While expansion, it also lifts its body up from the ground. Thus, earthworm moves by contraction and expansion of its muscles, which may take place at more than one place in its body at any given time. When earthworm moves inside the soil, it eats the soil and makes way for itself, and then throws out the undigested part of soil. This helps in softening the soil and helps the plant to grow well. Earthworm move by the expansion and contraction of the body. While it moves, the muscles of its segments, they move ahead. First they move ahead and they grip the ground. Means जमीन पे वो आगे चल के पकड़ बना लेते हैं, ठीक है. Then the segment which follow it, it contracts and pull the rest of the body. Okay. While expansion, it also lifts the body and lifts it up from the ground. Thus, earthworm moves by expansion and contraction of its muscles. When earthworm moves inside the soil, it eats the part of the soil, which come in its way, and left the undigested part of the soil on the soil. Okay, means it throws out the undigested part. This helps in softening the soil and helps the plants to grow well. Okay, means when it moves in the soil, inside the soil, it eats the soil which comes in its way. Thus, it makes its way to move. Then, after eating the undigested part of the soil, it throws out. Okay, this helps in softening the soil and it is very good for the plant growth. Locomotion in snail. Snails are famous for their slow movements. Snails have a protective shell on their back. When in danger, they hide their whole body inside their shell. The shell is actually the exoskeleton. The snail has a soft body and a thick, flat, muscular foot. The foot has strong muscles which help it to glide. The shell is dragged along with the body. The shell has an opening from which the head and foot comes out. Snails, they move slowly. They are famous for their slow movement. In their body, they have protective shell which on their back. They hide themselves when they are in danger inside the shell. This shell is actually, it is the exoskeleton. Okay, it has a soft body and thick, flat, muscular foot. See, this is the muscular foot. This foot has strong muscles which helps it to glide. The shell then drags away along with the body. Okay, when it moves, the shell also drag away along with it. The shell has an opening from which the head and the foot comes out. Okay. Now this is the locomotion in scale. Now children, this much for today's class. Till then, stay safe, stay at home, keep on learning. Thank you children.